Hey guys, and welcome back to Okami. Oh man, the last part was full of antics. We escaped the sunken ship after acquiring the lucky mallet, which you can see here bouncing around very gaily and whatnot. And I mean that in the happy olden times sense, not, you know. And we also escaped from the water dragon, who reminded me of the Unagi from Avatar: The Last Airbender. And by God, it's warm today, so if I seem a bit hyper, that's why.
Yeah, basically we're both melting right now. There is one thing that the world should realise, if they don't already. We Brits don't really deal too well with extremes of weather.
Really?
So if it's really cold, then we're just like, oh my god, it's too cold. Turn the heating up, put all the layers on. And then it gets to like 23, 24, 25 degrees Celsius, and we all go, oh my god, it's too hot, just get all the clothes off, can't deal with this, put the fans on, full blast windows open. It's crazy.
Yeah, but I'd rather be cold than hot, I'll just tell you that now. Anyway, getting back on topic. Oh, it's the Twin Monument lady. Were we meant to be getting the friggin' chopsticks for her or something?
We were meant to be finding the fox rods, but they weren't on the ship as she initially believed. And obviously, you know, she left us to die back there. Like, if we'd have known that she could have just leapt across the ocean like that, why on earth were we carrying her all the way along until she decided to bugger off?
Take us with you, Jesus.
Either way, so since I now have enough money, I bought the 7 Strike, so we now have a brand new glaive, and it is glorious and red, and it's good that we got it now because we are about to go into a proper dungeon.
Oh wow, I actually forgot about this. I should really look up these parts beforehand.
And by proper dungeon, it's not actually probably what you're expecting. Like, it's not a dungeon in the sense of, it's nothing like the Suta Ruins, in that the Suta Ruins are very much more typical dungeon fare, because it's like a shrine, it's a temple, it's a set of ruins. That's what you generally expect from a dungeon in video gaming. This is very unlike that. Largely because the only way that we are going to get through the Eye of the Needle is to shrink down to really, really, really tiny size.
Oh, we Minish Cap now.
Yeah, we Minish Cap now, and we are going to get there via the Lucky Mallet, because that's what it does. It shrinks people, and I like how Isun said that, are you ready to get hammered?
Oh, always, Isun, always.
But yeah, this is just a really fun dungeon. Well, dungeon itself is probably okay, but the whole thing of being absolutely tiny is just great. I love it.
Do we ever use the Lucky Mallet in the opposite direction, or is that a spoiler?
Well, I mean, to get back to being normal size, yes, we are going to have to use the Lucky Mallet.
You know what I meant. I didn't mean simply reversing.
As far as I'm aware, no.
Oh.
But you will see the Lucky Mallet return again in the future, but, oh, I love this cutscene so much.
Oh wow, we actually get to see him in the flesh?
See who in the flesh, Tom? I mean, there's this question mark character here. I don't know who you're talking about.
Oh, Richie, it's obviously Isun.
Yeah, indeed it is, in all his handsome beauty, as Hideki Kamiya wished. Basically, in the official complete works, and basically whenever Hideki Kamiya has spoken about Isun, he said that one of the things that he always was aiming for was to get Isun to look like as handsome as possible. And like when given like the concept art initially, he was just like, no, he needs to be more handsome.
Okay.
And I just find it hilarious. But I love Isun's design this far up close, because it's so unique, but then it does translate so well to being that little diddy speck. And Isun finally gets to ride on our back as a sort of normal-sized person, rather than getting stuck in our mouth.
This is really Twilight Princess-esque now, then. Isun is essentially Midna at this point.
Yes, but we are much more capable in battle than Wolflink, and Isun can get us freebies. So basically, if ever you see a locked chest, then send Isun their way, and yeah, he'll break into it, and it'll be glorious. I think you can technically also use him in battle. Actually, no, I don't know whether you can. Doesn't really matter. But it is just fun to send him flying at things.
Of course, mate. Of course. So I guess the only sort of, like, obstacles we're going to be facing is man itself. Oh my god, no, none of that, please. Stop laughing, this is cruel.
So yes, you are going to be facing a lot of man, but you're also going to be facing blockade spiders. And they don't actually attack you, they just come down and block your way, which is why they're called blockade spiders.
Well done.
But there will come a point where you're going to have to find new and interesting, well, not necessarily interesting, but new ways of getting around them. But look, there's someone crying in there. How awful.
Better not be another jump scare. I had enough of that on the sunken/ghost ship, thank you very much.
Well, I'm sure we will find out eventually, because we're going to be doing a lot of toing and froing in the Imperial Palace, because that's essentially where we are. And this is why I said that ultimately this is a dungeon, but it's very unlike any dungeon that you ever really see in any video game.
Well, Minish Cap, mate, come on now.
Well, apart from Minish Cap, you just don't come across it. Like being shrunken down and being in this sort of situation, it's not that common.
I'm pretty sure there's some like RPGs where you get shrunk down and whatnot. In fact, you know what? People watching, leave us like a comment or something. Give us examples, because like Minish Cap is the only one I can bring up right now. Richie's got nothing. He's got nothing. No examples.
Well, see, that's just because I'm fascinated by the Thunder Mirror, which is essentially what this is.
Oh, that's a mirror. I thought it was a coin, honestly. I thought we were just fighting a piece of currency for a second.
Well, I mean, that's not surprising. Obviously, it's a stronger version of the Thunder Ear that we fought in wherever it was, actually. I know we faced one down. I think it was just in the overworld, actually, but yeah, so that's the stronger variant of that, and it's quite fun. I know that there's something in their descriptions which is something like so the faces that you see on the mirrors are the spirits trapped within the mirrors.
Right.
And it's all to do with why they're so angry. But yes, this is a fun, interesting little area, because you can very easily get squashed.
Is that instant kill?
I don't know if it's an instant kill, but it's certainly going to hurt.
Well,
but
yeah.
what you can do, but what you can do is you can jump on top of them, and it's just quite fun. And also, I think because this guy's foot is blocking the way, it's not letting me cherry bomb properly, which is just like, for God's sake.
You should turn the guy into a bomb and blow up the whole wall instead.
I mean, that would be a very helpful idea. I don't know whether we'd properly feel it. I mean, I suppose if you had a massive explosion happening down at your foot, you might lose your toe. Especially considering, he's wearing sandals. But it seems more like it'll just do a little bit of a pinprick.
Yeah, Killer Queen has already touched the NPC. Good stuff. I had to get in my requisite JoJo reference for the day. Why haven't they announced Part 5's anime adaptation yet? Jesus!
Well, they have no reason to yet, do they?
Part 4's been over for a while now, and it's the 5th month of the year. It'll be perfect. Sorry. I should learn to be patient. I know.
You should indeed, Tom, and patience is exactly what we're having to do right here as we wait for this guy to try and walk his way over to the hole that we need to get in, because it's got something we need, annoyingly. So basically, obviously this guy's feet are breaking the laws of physics because they're clipping through a wall.
Shh, it doesn't matter.
But the whole thing is that you need to wait for the foot to come down and for him to be able to walk his way over for us to be able to get in to this nook, because otherwise you don't get enough height on it. And it's just a bit of a pain, really. And also, like, you can see, because he's blocking my way, I'm struggling to see at all in here to be able to cherry bomb. It's not the best moment of camera that has ever been. Thankfully, this guy can't stand on his own feet, otherwise we would be completely buggered up. But still, this is not an easy little section to get through. I mean, I'm just like, for God's sake, I can't see a thing!
I think that's one instance of, like, you're able to point out that the camera doesn't really work in a situation and you have video evidence to back it up. It's like, yeah, motherfucker, what now? I just showed you that shit. For literal.
Indeed. It's always very satisfying when you get things like that, especially when also you get glitches that happen.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, obviously it's frustrating for the likes of us because we tend to like to have nice, smooth bits of gameplay.
Ah, yes, of course.
And for them to be as high a quality as possible. But it is always funny because you just go, oh my god, that's ridiculous. I love it. I'm going to leave that in.
I'm telling you, if it's a jump scare, I'm done.
It's not a jump scare, for God's sake. We're just going to find out more about this prisoner, because I feel she's going to be important somehow.
Hang on, is this Himiko, if I'm remembering the name correctly?
No, this is not Himiko. We'll meet Queen Himiko eventually, but this is definitely not her.
Okay.
I mean, after all, why would the Empress be imprisoned by the Emperor?
And hung for a thrice time!
But, she's just mentioned Mr. Bamboo. So, this should, well, and does reveal that this is Kaguya.
Ah, that's a name I recognise. I don't know the context of it, but I recognise the name.
So Kaguya is a very important part of the tale of the old bamboo cutter, and I'm not going to go fully into detail on everything to do with Kaguya just yet, because it is totally going to spoil what's going to happen to her.
Yeah, that's fine.
The tale of the bamboo cutter, also known as the tale of Princess Kaguya, is considered the oldest extant Japanese prose narrative, because it comes from the 10th century, and it is, the Japanese word for prose narrative is monogatari. And basically, if there is one folktale that people know from Japan, or that is one of the most famous, it is the tale of the bamboo cutter. I'll give you a brief little bit of the start of the narrative. So basically, one day while walking in the bamboo forest, an old childless bamboo cutter called Taketori no Okina, the old man who harvests bamboo, comes across a mysterious shining stalk of bamboo. After cutting it open, he finds an infant inside the size of his thumb. He rejoices to find such a beautiful girl and takes her home. He and his wife raise the child as their own and name her Kaguya-hime. More accurately, it's Nayotake no Kaguya-hime, and essentially that means Princess of Flexible Bamboo's Scattering Light.
Okay.
And after that, the bamboo cutter finds that whenever he cuts down a stalk of bamboo, inside there is a small nugget of gold.
Ooh.
And because of that, he becomes rich. Kaguya grows from being a small baby into a woman of ordinary size and extraordinary beauty. At first, the bamboo cutter tries to keep her away from outsiders, but over time the news of her beauty spreads. And eventually, 5 princes come to the residence to ask for her hand in marriage. Basically, the princes persuade the bamboo cutter to basically force Kaguya-hime to choose from among them, and so she concocts impossible tasks for the princes, agreeing to marry the one who manages to bring her his specified item. And these being things that are like ridiculous. So it's the stone begging bowl of the Buddha Gautama Shakya Muni from India, a jewelled branch from the mythical island of Hawaii, and the legendary robe of the fire rat of China, a coloured jewel from a dragon's neck, and a cowrie shell born of swallows. And basically, these are impossible tasks. And though the princes attempt to... basically, they bring things that aren't the right thing and try to pretend that they are right.
Right.
And she completely sees through all of the fakes. And then after that, the Emperor of Japan, at the time that is Mikado, comes to see her and falls in love and asks her to marry him. Although he isn't subjected to the same impossible trials, she still rejects his request for marriage, and so on, but... that is where I'm going to have to leave the tale for the time being, because after that, we start to go into the territory of where the narrative ends, and I don't want to spoil that.
Oh well, at least we got story time with Richie, one of my favourite parts of the Okami playthrough, because it means a very easy edit after the fact.
But what's really quite awesome is that, so you may remember that when we were in the Bamboo Grove in Sasa Sanctuary, when we were trying to find, I think it was, I can't remember the name of the bloody dog, Take, was it?
Uh-huh.
We cut him out of a glowing bamboo shoot.
Yes, I remember.
And just outside of Mr. Bamboo's house, there is a glowing bamboo shoot, and that is all linked to the tale of the bamboo cutter. And it's just really awesome.
So can moles see, like, the demon face on the blocking spiders, or is it just, like, visible to us godly types?
I honestly don't know, but I don't really care because we're about to get one of the most amazing Brush God cutscenes ever.
Okay, I'm interested now.
You really do not know what's coming, and it's going to blow your mind.
It damn well better, I'm shutting off the video. Okay, they're blown out of... I'm just going to call it a sake bottle, I guess.
It's so much fun.
Alright, don't build it up too much, otherwise I'll be inevitably disappointed.
Well, either way, here it comes! As soon as, they've finished looking into the bloody constellation.
Oh, things got load, mate,
This is true.
Okay, so this is the sheep or the ram.
This is indeed the... sheep or ram, because technically I think in Zodiac it's the ram, but this is very much more of a sheep. And I'll just let you watch this for yourself before I say anything.
We've got a bit of an alcoholic sheep. Wouldn't really trust a god to be an alcoholic, but whatever. Or trust an alcoholic to be a god, I should say. Get your grammar right, it's hot. I'm having trouble with words. Alright, let's see what he does. Oh my god. Did he just try to, dodge him and get hit by every single one?
Yes, Kasugami trying to do the Matrix, and failed miserably. I love it so much.
I'd put that in my top 5. I don't know if it's my favourite Brush God introduction.
So yes, Kasugami, Kasu means mist, which is very fitting considering the brush technique that we are getting for this is the Veil of Mist. And what's really awesome is that... Actually, so its Japanese name is Kirigakure, or Kirigakure, I'm not quite sure which one it is, which means concealing mist, and I believe that Kirigakure is one of the villages in Naruto. Yes, the village hidden by mist. Which for some reason I'm thinking is the one where the whole initial Zabuza arc takes place. I feel like I had my brain got stuck there for a very long time, but I could be completely wrong.
Oh, well, you're trying to appeal to the wrong person here, mate. I watched like 40 episodes in and just kind of gave up. Not because I wasn't enjoying it, just because I just couldn't be asked to watch anymore.
Well, you see, that's because the anime is really slow. The manga's much quicker because it's not got any filler. Well, it has got some filler, but it's not the show's filler, which it did excessively. But obviously the manga has now finished, which is insane.
Well, I think the anime is finished as well, hasn't it?
I believe it has, yes. Although I think they've started on Boruto now.
Ah, yes.
So the Veil of Mist is awesome because it slows down time.
Nice.
Which allows you to get in some really awesome extra hits. And ultimately, the Veil of Mist can easily break the game. You will see me abusing it so much in the later areas, but still, it's just, love this power so much.
Nicely done, mate. Even if you did cheat, you big fat cheater.
I'm using the powers the game gives me, therefore it's not cheating.
Well, if the game gave you an instant win button, would you take it? Would Richie take it? I don't know, I guess we'll have to find out next time.